Hello, my name is Sion Digital, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a contact us form. Let's go back to our original design. So my original design looked like this, so I need to create something similar to my original design. I already have the submit button from my newsletter. In fact, no, it's called sign up, so I will have to basically extract this button from here. So let's basically create extract the actual settings, the images first. So let's go to Photopea, let's go to File and select Open. Let's select the Contact Us page where we have all our layers. Let's hide the background layer and let's crop the individual elements. So I'm just gonna crop this button. Let's press the Enter key. I'm gonna go to Image, select Trim, so I don't have any excess. Now I'm gonna go to File, select Export and PNG. This is my Submit button, so I'm gonna go to Edit and Undo a couple times. Okay, so the next thing I need to extract, I already have the email from the newsletter, so I need to have the name, so I'm just going to highlight the name here, press the Enter key. Let's use the image and trim, so remove the excess. I'm going to go to File, select Export, and let's export as PNG. Let's undo this again, and I'm going to crop the text of my message. So I'm going to press the Enter key. Let's go to Image and select Trim to remove the excess again. I'm going to go to File, select Export PNG. Okay. Let's undo this again. Let's highlight the Contact Us. Let's go a bit crazy so you can actually see exactly why I'm trimming the image. So I'm going to press the Enter key now. Oops. Press the Enter key. I'm going to go to Image, select Trim, click OK. So I'm removing all the excess. I'm going to go File and then Export Image PNG. Okay. Let's go to Edit and Undo again. Do I need anything else? No, I don't need anything else from here. I just need to display this, so I need to reproduce the background. Let's start with the background first. In fact, no, let's get the pictures over to our images folder. Let's go to our downloads. Let's refresh. So this is the contact label. Let's remove the spaces. Contact Us LBL for label. Let's shift and use the left arrow key to highlight the hyphen and the LBL. I'm gonna right click and copy this. Now I'm gonna go here to the message. I'm just gonna change that to message, Control V to paste, LBL. Here I'm gonna put here name, rename that, Control V to paste, LBL. And then we have email. The email doesn't have, okay, we have some. Let's use, because we have not trimmed the email, so let's go to File, select Open. Let's go to Downloads, Email. Yeah, it's not even background transparent, so yeah, we need to do it again. So let's close that. Let's highlight and crop the email as well. Press the Enter key. Let's go to Image and select Trim. I'm going to go to File and select Export PNG. Okay. So now I'm going to call this email, Control V to paste LBL. So I know now all these are transparent images. So the submit as well, let's call this submit LBL. So I know the submit is transparent background as well. Where now on the sign up, because I had on the sign up of the newsletter I had a solid background, so I didn't actually have to put a transparent background. So in this case, because our design, let's undo this, has fancy color, we need the transparent background. So I'm showing you both ways as well. So if you have not watched my newsletter video, just click on the newsletter video. I will include the URL into the comments of this video. Okay, so now we have named the objects appropriately. I'm going to select the first object. I'm going to hold the control key down and click all the other objects. Okay, I'm going to right click and select copy. I'm going to go now to my images folder and Control V to paste. So I've got my elements here. So the next thing we need to do is go to Google and type color picker online. So in fact, no, we need to go to gradient color picker. So just put CSS gradient background and select the first option. There's quite lots of websites out there. Just picking up the first option here. So let's have a look here. We need purple, turquoise, and then pink. So we select the first one. We need purple. We go to the second one, turquoise. And we'll go to the third one, select pink. We can play around. We can change the location. This is how it is, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, something similar to this. Okay, so now we're gonna copy this CSS style. We're gonna go to the contact page. Let me close all the other pages. Just need the contact us page. So we're going to go to the contact us page, and we have here already a div tag. Thank you for using. Okay, so we're going to go to thank you for using yada yada yada. So I'm going to press the enter key here to leave a gap. And here for this class, after the class, we're going to apply a style equals. And then we can actually Control V to paste the styles we just copied from here. These styles here. And now if I Control S, or go to File and select Save, I refresh the page. Okay, I've got the gradient as I was expecting it. So the next thing we need to do is basically create the form. So let's create the form, and then we're gonna call this ID equals contact form. Yeah, let's put this in double quotes. Oops. Let's put capital C as well. So the form, the idea of the form is a contact us form, and then we're gonna say on submit equals, we're gonna put some JavaScript later on, send email, and then we'll say event, close the parentheses, and then close the form, the opening form tag. Well, let's go further down and let's close the form. here we're going to put a JavaScript, and here let's put our fields. So the first field, the first thing we need to do is add a label. So we're going to say label for equals email, then we'll say email. We're gonna put this as text first so you can see how it works, and then you can I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make it look exactly the same as my newsletter here by adding the pictures. So I'm creating the basic structure here. Let's put here L, label for email, okay, and then we need to put an input box, input space type. I expect the type to be text. In double quotes I'm going to say text, and the ID is equals to email. Let's put lowercase c. And the name is equals to email. And the placeholder is also equals to emails, but in this case I'm going to put your email. Then I'm going to make sure that this is required, and I've added my first label here. Now I'm going to Control-C to copy this, and let's go to the design. I've got the email, the name, and the message. Let's put the subject as well here as well. I'm going to put a fourth one, subject, to make it a bit more clear. So the first one, I'm going to make sure the first one is going to be the subject. Subject. The next one will be the name. Let's say full name, and let's make sure that the subject is here as well, and here, and your subject. So that's the first one. The next one is the full name, the name. I'm just double clicking the word name, and then Control V to paste to replace the email. Let's put your full name, and then here we're gonna put, so we have the email, now the email, so we have the subject, the name, the email. Here we're gonna have the message, say message. Let's copy this. Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste, and here we'll say message. Now the message will be slightly different to the other fields, so the message will need to have a number of rows. Let's say after the name equals message, we're gonna say rows equals, let's put 4 for now. 4 rows, okay. And finally we're gonna put the button, so let's put a button on the type is equals to submit, and we're going to say submit or send, and then we're going to close the button. Okay, type equals submit. Okay, that's good. So if we Control S to save this, and let's go back to our form, refresh. So we have now our fields in place. We just need to put excuse me, a nice header at the top. Then we're going to say H2. Let's close it. H2. And let's say please complete, please, in fact we're just going to say, what did we put here? Contact us. So contact us, and below it we're going to put a span. Let's close the span tag. We're going to type please complete, can't be bothered typing that, so I'm just going to double click here and Control C to copy, and I'm just going to highlight this, Control V to paste, because I already typed this here, you see. So if I double click on the text square box here, I'm highlighting my whole text, or I can just highlight it like that. But it's easier for me to double click here and then Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So I've got already my information here. So if I Control S, let's go here now, we have contact. Let's put this in a new line. So let's say BR. And let's put all the other elements within a BR tag. Control S to save. So we've got them now under control. Okay, so here the box we have set, because we are using, which box we are using here, we're using the regular box. So I think let's go to CSS. We have box 1, 2 and 3. We do not have box 4. So I'm just going to highlight the style box. I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to call this box 4. And I'm just going to change the height to, maybe, let's make it 500 pixels. Control S to save. I'm going to go here and I'm just going to call this box 4. Control S to save. So I've got a bigger box now. Okay, we have more room now to play around. So we want this to look better. So I can make it look like this. I already have the style from my newsletter. So if I go to my newsletter further down, because here I've got my newsletter, I've got the style of my button, and I've got the style of my email, and I've got the elements within the same div tag. So if I go here, let's get the style first of all for the text for my span. I'm basically picking up the span text here, this text size, and I'm gonna put this into this. So let's go here, let's put space here, oops. Control V to paste, Control S to save, refresh. Now my message looks like this. Let's go to a newsletter again. And we have the header. Let's get the header to image. So Control C to copy. And again, you can type it manually, or you can refer back to my previous video tutorial for the newsletter. So I'm going to go to the header2 tag now. I'm going to replace the contactos text with, let's see, the name of the contactos. Oh, where is it? Contactos LBL. Okay. Let's copy this name. And I'm just going to replace the newsletter title with the contactos title. Control S to save. Refresh. Okay, we have the contactos now. Right, the next thing is, let's go back to the newsletter. And we have here the div tag, which will have the actual email address. So the div tag for the email address begins and ends here. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go here. Let's paste it there. So the label, we don't have any styles, so the label stays as it is. In fact, no. Let's Control Z to undo. Let's do it here again. So the subject, we're going to highlight these two elements. We're going to have to type again. So this is my subject. So for subject, and I'm just going to call this subject -LBL, I think I called it. Let's go back to the images. I do not have subject. Okay, let's go here. Let's duplicate the name. Let's bring it further down. Let's call this subject. Let's crop it. Enter. Let's trim this. Let's go to File, select Export and PNG. Okay, I'm just going to call this subject -LBL for label. Let's copy this from here. Let's paste it here. Copy the name. So here is my subject, and the picture is subject -LBL. So copy this, make sure that this is the ID subject and the name is subject, and the placeholder will be subject. Let's put capital S. Okay, so that's my subject. Control S to save. So I've left the style as it is on the newsletter. So if I go here now, I know that the style is basically the same style as the newsletter, and the style is similar to my original form design. Okay, so by following the same process, I'm going to put the rest of the fields. So I'm going to highlight these div tags, Control C to copy, and these are the label and the input field for the full name, Control V to paste. So this is the name, Control C to copy. This is the name, and this is the name. So the placeholder will be full name. Have I missed something? Yeah, so we have name. The input field has a style. This is the style. The ID is also the name as well. We have the ID, the subject, okay, yeah. So we have everything in place now. We'll copy this now, Control S to save. Let's refresh the page. So now we have the name. The next one is the email. So we're gonna remove the label and the input field for the email. We're gonna paste our div tags, which is the only thing we need to do is change the for to email. Control C to copy. Control V to paste. We're going to change the label for the email label. The ID, it's going to be email. The name will be email, and the placeholder will be your email. Control S to save. Refresh. Excuse me. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to copy the div tags. We're going to replace the div tags we added before, but we need to remember to put the rows, the 4 rows here. So enter. Let's paste the div tags. So this will be the message. Control C to copy. This is the message picture image. So the input, we need to make sure that we have 4 rows. The ID will be message, the name will be message, the placeholder will be your message. Control S to save, refresh, and we have the message here, but it's not picking up the rows. Okay, this is because we have input instead of text area, so text area. Let's close the text area. Control S. So finally we need to add, let's add an additional space here via Control C, Control V to paste, Control S to save. Yeah, that's better. We have a bit of gap. And then the next thing we need to do is basically put a submit button. So let's go to our newsletter again and copy the button that we have for the submit with a div tag. Excuse me. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go here. I'm not going to delete the current submit button here. We're going to leave it as it is. We're going to delete it afterwards. So we just need the correct picture, which is submit label. Let's replace this to submit. No BL. Control S to save. Let's refresh the page. Okay, so this is the submit button. Let's remove that one here. Control S to save. Refresh. Okay, let's put the submit a bit to the right. So let's go to the div tag and let's increase that to maybe 70. Control S to save. Okay, let's make it 100. Control S to save. Let's make it 150. Excuse me. Control S to save. Let's make it 200. Control S to save. That's better. Okay. So now we have our contact us form. is working. Sorry, is in place, the design is in place. So the next thing we need to do is basically put, you can always remove the picture here, you can change the picture to something else. You can also change the picture here on the side to be the same height by actually change it to box 4. Let's go back to, where's that, box 4. So we added box 4 here. So if we change that to box 4, Control S to save. So we have the box 4 here. Okay, so, and then you can put something else there. Let's change that to box 2 again. Control S to save. Oh, you can actually remove it fully. So you can copy, get this box 2 div tag, and just remove it completely, so you only have the contact us form here. It's up to you how you're gonna do it. In fact, let's Control Z to undo. I'm just going to show you how to add Google Maps. And then we'll go to Maps, and then we're gonna get Share, then Embed Map. Let's copy the HTML map. Let's put this HTML map instead of this picture. So let's Control Z to undo here. Okay, instead of this image, we're gonna put the map here, and the width, let's make the width 100%. Let's make the height 450 will do. Control S to save. Refresh. Okay. And we can remove the box here as well. Let's remove the box too. Okay, so we have the map here. The final thing we need to do now is basically make the form function. So we're gonna go to our form, and right below the actual form closing tag, we are going to create a new JavaScript tag. So open JavaScript, so we're gonna say script. Gonna skip a couple of lines, we're gonna close the script tag. Within the script tag, we are going to create a new function. We're going to call this function send email event. And then we're going to open a curly bracket. We'll skip a couple of lines, and we're going to close the curly bracket. Within our curly brackets, we're going to put our procedures here. So we'll say event dot prevent default open close parenthesis semicolon to end your statement. Let's put some programmer's comments here. So this will prevent form submission. So now we need to get the values. Let's put some programmer's comments. Get form values. So the first value we need to get is the const subject, which is equals to en code URI component, and then within parentheses we're going to type document dot get element by ID, and then within parentheses and double quotes we're going to put the name of the value of the field, which is subject. Let's close the parentheses after the double quote, and we'll say dot value. close the parenthesis, semicolon to understatement. So now the only thing we need to do is basically copy this line, Control C to copy, and Control V to paste 3 more times, because we have 4 fields. The second field we have is the name field, and here we're going to change that to name. We also have the email field, and then we're going to change that to email. And then we have finally the message field. We're going to change that to message. So now we have created basically our fields. Let's put some programmers comments here again. We're going to build now the mail to link. Here we're going to say const mail to link is equals to, and then we're going to say double quotes, we're going to say mail to colon test. Here you're going to put your own email address, test at a-web.uk. Then question mark, the next value will be the subject is equals to, but then $, and then we're going to say the subject in curly brackets, close the curly bracket, and then we'll say and body equals, and then we're going to say for the body, which is equals to name, then we're going to pass the variable name, so $, and then in curly brackets we're going to type name. Now we're going to put the percentage symbol, 0 capital A, then email colon space, and we're going to pass up now the email variable, so $, $, curly bracket, email, close the curly bracket, percentage icon, 0A message colon $. Now the 0A will basically give the percentage 0A will give us basically line space. So message colon space, and then we're going to put curly bracket to pass on the message value. I'm going to close the curly bracket, semicolon to understatement. Now we're going to put some programmers comments here. We're going to say open mail to link, we'll say window. This will open basically the mail client of the user. Dot location dot href is equals to mail to link, semicolon to understatement, and this Control S should make our contact us form function. So if I refresh the page, for the subject I'm going to type testing the new website. For the name I'm going to put Ioannis. For the email address I'm going to put test@gmail.com, and the message, this is a test message. Now if I click submit, it should open my mail client, and then with the mail client I have basically the name, the email. Okay, the reason why it's not working is because of the double quotes here. So let's use the backtick. Now the backtick on your keyboard instead of double quotes, we're going to use the backtick. Now the backtick on your keyboard is here, so if you're using Mac, it's the little line at the top. If you use a Windows, it's next to the exclamation mark. That's the backtick. Okay. So that's the backtick key. Okay. So if you put the backtick key, let's Control S to save our project, our page, refresh the page. Let's put here the messages again. Testing the contact form. If I click submit now, I can see my subject is passed, the value of my subject is passed, the name of the, basically the address where the email is sent to. Also, I will be able to actually see the person's email address when they send the email, so it's another validation here. But also there's an email that the customer prefers me to contact by this email, and I can actually see the message as well. And then once I click send, the message is sent and I will be able to actually reply to the customer. So this is how you create the Contact Us form by using Notepad, CSS, HTML, and a little bit of the power of JavaScript. I hope you've learned something new today. I hope you will be able to use these new skills to create Contact Us pages. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.